Today in history, in 1848, carpenter James Wilson Marshall found nuggets of gold in California's American River near the site of a sawmill he was building for John Sutter, ushering in a gold rush.
Welcome to What the Fuck History, where we discuss the wackiest and weirdest things that make us say, well, what the fuck history. This is your Captain Zachary speaking, and we've got a whole host of activities for you here tonight. The buffet is open all day on Deck 2, and we have trivia beginning tonight right here on the top deck. And while we cannot make any promises about icebergs, you'll be sure to be breaking some ice yourself as long as you get out there. So thank you once again for traveling with us here on History Cruise Lines. We sure hope you enjoy tonight's stay.
My name's Meghan, and all through Zach's introduction, I was just thinking how the modern day gold rush could be considered water sport play. You can make so much money from it.
And I'm Matt. Today I learned that Zoe Saldana is the first actor with 4 movies to have grossed $2 billion.
Oh, I saw that.
That's really cool. Meghan, can you clarify on what the fuck you were talking about?
Okay, so, people will pay a lot of money for people to pee on them.
I was gonna say, is this a piss kink thing? I don't know if I'm comfortable with it. I'm moving on.
Well, you asked.
I know, but I wanted to clarify. My curious brain was like, what the fuck is it? Was that a piss joke?
That was a piss joke. I'm just saying, it's the modern day gold rush, Zach.
I think the modern day gold rush is feet pics, but either way, it's kinks that no one should enjoy. I am kind of joking because I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but also please, not on my Christian Minecraft server.
Stop it.
Oh boy.
Not on my
Christian Minecraft server. What a quote.
All right, my beautiful listeners, we have set our strikes to 0. We have played an imaginary game of rock, paper, scissors.
So imaginary.
And the order for tonight is Zach, followed by me, followed by Meghan.
Yeah, me.
Whee!
It's a me.
Wahoo!
Meghan.
Wahoo! All right, so all dumb jokes aside from my intro, how great would I look in a captain's hat? Scratch that.
You look amazing.
I mean, pretty
But,
good.
I thank you. My question is, do I go full captain's regalia with the suit blazer, or are we talking more salty sea dog, like a fisherman's sweater and a hat? You know?
I was thinking about the tricorn hats.
A tricorn, like a pirate?
Yeah.
Okay, we're back to Essing. We gotta stop this before it starts.
Leave me alone.
You know what? I think I would look good as a pirate, but I also meant just a regular sea captain's hat.
Oh, I don't believe
Yeah,
in those.
no, I think you'd look good as a sea captain.
Oh, thank you.
I think it would, in my opinion, Zach, the way that I picture you in a sea captain's hat is in a shining white, brand new sea captain's hat.
Yes.
And a fully nicely pressed uniform.
Okay.
Just I'm
okay.
just picturing it all.
All right.
I think you'd look great.
Well, thank you.
When you
now
were
that we have
the way that I picture you in a captain's hat, my first thought was erotically. I thought you were gonna go that
splayed
way.
out over some crab.
It wouldn't be the
where-
first time you would have said something like that, and I was
Yeah.
waiting for the punchline to fall, and
Well, yeah, no, and I definitely thought for a moment
Yep.
that I was gonna say when I think of you in a captain's hat, I think of you in just a captain's hat.
There we go.
But Zach and I in the After Dark before this shit happened, we were talking about Steve's penis a lot. So
Yeah. I think we're done with penis talk for the night.
oh, okay, I get here and we're done with it. That's rude.
I'm sorry. If you'd like to be included, feel free to talk about any penis you'd like. Just we might not.
We yield the floor to you. You can have
We yield the dick floor to you.
you have You have 5 minutes on the dick floor.
Oh, jeez. Too many dicks on the dance floor.
God. All right, tell me your captain's story, I assume.
I was
going
going to say, now that we've really been procrastinating, pardon me in the hesitation and procrastination for my story. It's how I do. But tonight, I will be taking another break from the mini-series, Heinous Gentlemen of History, as last week I also took a break. Not because I have run out of gentlemen crimesmen, but rather because I found a story that's just too fucking wacky not to talk about.
That's fair.
I just couldn't resist.
No,
now,
I get it.
You get it. Sometimes you just gotta do, you know?
I hear you.
Anyone who knows me knows that I fucking hate the Titanic. James Cameron is overrated, and he got fucking lucky with Aliens and Terminator. Jesus. I said it, and I fucking meant it.
Wow, tell us how you really feel.
Speaking of which, Zoe Saldana, who has 2 movies from James Cameron.
And they're both garbage. Avatar sucks.
Damn.
Avatar is Pocahontas with blue people.
It's Dances with Wolves with blue people, but same fucking idea.
You know, I'm not gonna lie.
It's all about blue people.
I might get fired for this. I like Dances with Wolves.
Oh, Dances with Wolves is great.
Was a great film.
I just feel like it's a pretty good film. I don't know.
It's the only time that Kevin Costner has successfully made me feel.
Wow. Excuse me, did you not feel it in your soul when he had the Robin Hood mullet?
I gotta be honest with you, have not seen
Oh, you gotta. It's so fucking awful in the best way.
I will watch it, and I'll let you know how I feel about his mullet, but we do have to keep this train on the rails.
Okay, yes we do, but before we get back onto the highway that we're supposed to do, I need to tell you 2 things. Yeah. One, it's an 80s movie that's somehow a Robin Hood movie at the same time, which makes it great.
That's dope.
2, Alan Rickman is the Sheriff of Nottingham. Nuff said.
Alan Rickman.
So, besides my hate for James, well, not hate. For James Cameron and my hate for the Titanic, my story does have to do with not the awful movie, but the awful tragedy that befell the world-famous unsinkable ship. More specifically, my story has to do with the chief baker on the ship, the Titanic, Mr. Charles Jockin.
No, not Jockin.
Jockin.
Not my man.
Wait, do you know about this fella?
No.
No? Oh, you're just fucking busting my chops. Okay, I was like, what the fuck was going on? I got real confused for a second. I thought I had
Let's be honest, though. This is something that Meghan would just know.
No, but like, I had a fucking mini panic attack because my brain said, did I do the thing again where I'm going to tell an entire story that's already been told before?
No,
I can't do it twice.
I just felt like I was like, man, it would be really funny if I did know about this guy.
Yes. I will say...
Back in the day, we used to get gold stars for that kind
of thing. I know, right? It's been forever since I seen a gold star back in my day. Anyway.
All right, train, rails, let's go.
So, I also laugh a little bit because Charles Jockin, his last name is Joughin, and I thought it was Johan. And therefore, I thought I was going to have to praise a Frenchman tonight. I don't have to. Thank fuck.
Gross.
Instead, he's British, which is kind of...
Also gross.
Well, yeah, okay.
Honestly, praising men, a little gross.
Praising men? Fucking gross.
Oh, thank God my story praises a woman then.
Fuck yeah. So naturally, our story starts off with, the boat hitting the berg. The usual.
The whole boat thing.
Whole boat thing, the thing that everyone knows about.
The thing that made the Titanic famous, guys, you know.
All right, the Titanic was famous because it was big.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, you ever heard of the Titanic, that famous ship what sunk because it hit an iceberg?
That big fuck off ship.
You know the thing.
I know the thing.
Yes, you know the thing. So, at the time of the initial impact, our hero Charles has been off duty, so he was kind of just chilling in his cabin until, well, he felt a bump, I guess.
A casual bump.
A casual bump.
Lovers bumping in the night.
He gets the message that the ship is going down, And he then springs into action because his job, along with all the other cooks on the ship, is to make sure that food and supplies are loaded into lifeboats. And he and the other chefs do this, chef's kiss, perfectly. Women and children are safely secured in lifeboats, food is secured, and the job is done. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Now, this is where things start to turn for the, well, what the fuck worthy. Because after he has loaded all the lifeboats and helped a bunch of women and children and basically got himself settled, he kind of has nothing to do besides sink with the ship because he was like, well, I don't think I'm making it on a lifeboat.
Oh, okay. Way to give up, my man.
Yeah, right? So what do you think that our boy Charles does?
I don't know. He sounds like he's going down with the ship.
He sounds pretty
Plays
defeatist.
drums with baguettes.
Oh my god, that'd be cool.
You said he was a baker, right?
Yes, he was a baker, but no, he
Does
didn't.
he bake a cake of the Titanic sinking while it's sinking?
That'd be crazy.
No, he doesn't,
Oh,
but that's
that would
something
be
wild.
That would be a whole bonkers.
That would be crazy.
Could you imagine?
I'm not going to lie to you. What he does is actually almost that crazy.
I can't.
Oh,
no.
shit.
Because you probably guessed that he went to his room and got real sad about everything as this ship goes down, but you might
Same.
not put into account the fact that he just starts chugging a ton of whiskey and waiting to die,
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Classic.
as I guess one does.
Yeah.
Which seems like a real sad ending to this man's life, but oh wait, what is that?
He lives?
Off in the yonder distance? Far beyond the reaches of any normal man?
What?
Why? It's the confidence to fucking fight God that is only granted to one who has drank enough whiskey to drown a horse.
Wow.
Or snorted enough cocaine as Imo Koivunen did
Okay,
once.
listen,
see
he
God.
had to deal with what he had.
I'm gonna be honest with you. We've established on this podcast that the only way that you fight God is by imbibing a fuckload of substances.
Yes, absolutely. You want to see God, you want to fight God, you take a lot of things and you put them in your body, and they're the things that shouldn't go in your body.
And you hope that you make it out the other
Pretty
side.
much. If you want a transcendental experience, you gotta fucking flirt with death.
That's true.
So,
It's true.
he imbibes copious amounts of whiskey and gains the courage of the gods. A courage that I have had on numerous occasions, so I fucking feel for this man. And so Charles jumps up with the strength of 100 suns and starts booking it up the stairs from the lower decks.
What a
And,
hero.
oh, wait for it, because yes, what a fucking hero. And to see how one drunk man can save an entire ship is now his goal. That's what he wants to do. He quickly realizes, though, despite his current inebriated state, that he is not an engineer. And even if he was, this baby's going down no matter what.
I like
so
that's
in
when he
s-
notices it. He's like, huh.
Yeah. Huh. I can't I don't know what an engine is.
I don't really...
Oh, fuck. I don't know how to put this back together.
Pretty much. So instead, he runs up to the top deck where there's one woman who is refusing to get into a lifeboat because she claimed that they were just safer staying on the downing ship.
Wow, dumb bitch.
Well, yeah, dumb bitch. So guess what? My boy Charles just says, okay, Karen, try reading something other than fucking Facebook for once, and just hucks her into the
Oh my
lifeboat.
god. He's like, I'm gonna save you, you done son of a bitch.
I'm gonna save you whether you want it or not. Damn. And so he then, after hucking her into the lifeboat, runs around all of the B deck promenade, where he yeets about 50 fucking deck chairs overboard so people who couldn't get into lifeboats start using them as flotation devices.
Oh my God,
You're
he's a
welcome,
hero.
idiots.
What a hero.
And as absolute hero. As the ship begins to make its final gurgling descent into the icy Atlantic Ocean, Charles was preparing his final drunken miracle. As he climbed up the railing of the now vertical ship, he made sure that he was the last one leaving this majestic hunk of metal.
Did he climb to the top?
He stood on the railing of the top of the boat as it was vertical and rode the boat down like an elevator, simply stepping off into the ocean when it was done.
He Jack Sparrowed it.
He Jack Sparrowed
He
it.
truly
Except,
did.
you know how in Pirates of the Caribbean he's like standing on the mast where like the boat...
Yeah.
But imagine...
This guy was just standing on the very tip.
Take the boat and
to
turn
see
it the
how it
wrong
feels.
way.
God, that's so
Yeah,
good.
no, I mean, it's great.
And
That's amazing.
Charles then proceeds to basically doggy paddle around in -2-degree water for the next 3 hours.
Okay.
Until.
Which, according to science, is pretty much fucking impossible.
Yeah, but it was because he had the blood of God running through him.
See, that's the thing. When you drink, you experience vasodilation, where all the blood vessels open up and your blood becomes thin and it rises to the surface, you know, away from all your vital organs. And when you're in cold water and you're experiencing cold, well, you might feel warm because your blood has risen to the surface. In fact, you're dying in the inside.
Yeah, but we're all dying
Yeah,
on the
that's true.
inside.
Yeah, but you're not dying of super hypothermia.
Fair.
But, hear me out.
Hear him out.
What if you drank so much and then jumped into -2-degree freezing water and your blood vessels kind of just, while they were super open, very quickly constricted and basically balanced out?
What? That's cool. Wow.
Because that's pretty much what Gordon Gesprecht, a Canadian expert on hypothermia, theorizes happened to this man.
I know, this man actually cheated death.
I think this man met God and had like a civil conversation with him.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm
This-
not into it today.
This man met God, played a round of chess with God, and said, I think I just kind of want to go back and see how many people I can save and just, you know, ride the boat down like a badass. And God's like, you know what, that sounds pretty great. Fucking go for it, my
God
dude.
was like, that's so kind of you.
God was like, I like the saving people, and also just don't look when you step off, because cool guys don't look at explosions, and there's no explosions.
Cool guys
so
don't
you'll
look at
like-
explosions. That's so
You'll have to
true.
work with it, you know. Yeah. So he rides the boat down, sits in 3 hours in -2-degree water, and lives because basically he was so drunk that he had the power of God and anime on his side.
I know. Didn't even know what anime was,
It wasn't even invented yet,
but he knew.
but he knew.
But he was
No one else
ready.
knew.
He did have it on his side.
The power of God and anime.
true.
And a butt ton of whiskey. Eventually, though, Charles is rescued and is given proper treatment for his various maladies. I am sure he had many of them. But for some reason, Charles just simply returns to work 2 days later because fuck it, he can't be bothered.
Can you imagine? It's like people die at Charles.
Yeah, and I got a fucking paycheck to earn.
Yeah,
Rise
that's
and
true.
grind, boss bitch.
Yeah, there was actually
Fuck.
no workman's comp on the
No,
Titanic.
probably not.
Man, can you imagine workman's comp back in the day? It's like,
Oh,
hey, I
no.
lost a hand.
You got another hand, right? Don't you?
Yeah, dude, you got another
for
hand,
you.
right? Good for you.
Yeah, right. Good for you.
So proud of you, bud. Yeah, I
Proud
wouldn't
of
be to
you.
work. If that happened to me in this day and age, and this is probably why the American economy is collapsing, I would simply not show up to work. And that,
You know what? I lost a hand yesterday. I don't think I'm going in.
I'm going in.
coming in. So sorry for and I'd still say sorry for the inconvenience. You know, I'd still be like,
We've been trained.
and they'd be like, you know what work would say too, because this happened the other day with the snowstorm to my sister. They'd be like, oh man, that's not really fair to your coworkers, is it?
Wow.
Yeah.
shit.
Fuck that.
Sounds like capitalist
Yeah,
America.
dude, capitalist America, greatest economy in the world.
In capitalist America.
Yeah, but it's so good that this guy was like really willing to get out there and not leave his coworkers.
What I
hanging.
love about this dude, though, is that, like, he went back to work.
What I
Yeah,
love about
as
this
all of us
guy
should.
isn't the fact that he saved so many people. It's the fact that he got back out
No,
there. And
it's that he got back out there.
As I said, rise and grind, boss bitch, get that
sometimes when
bread.
you fall off the horse,
yeah,
you have to get back
Sometimes
on
when
it.
you
Sometimes when you fall off the
Titanic.
boat.
You
Sometimes when you ride the
So-
Titanic down.
One of my favorite things about this story is it just reminded me that someone, like, they planned to build the Titanic 2
Yeah.
in recent years, and they said, we'll take the exact same course as the Titanic 1.
Why?
And someone responded with, hopefully not the exact same course.
Like, here's
No.
the thing. We killed all the icebergs, so, I mean...
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we
we're-
have
we're
killed all
fine.
the icebergs. But what's also really cool about that is, like, so I'm just reading this story about them building the Titanic 2, right?
Better than ever.
And this thing is the smallest fucking ship compared to, like, the cruise ships that are entire cities nowadays.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have to... Listen, what we did well in the past, we've just improved upon, or made worse, depending on how you look at it, or if you're a whale.
There's
So-
no in between. We haven't like middled at all. We've either been really good or really bad. There's nothing in between.
I was looking up Jeff Bezos' super yacht the other day.
Oh, fuck no.
They haven't sunk that yet?
No, it's still alive.
Sorry,
But
guys. I've been busy.
Sorry, guys. One of the first search results, when I was like, how big is it? It was like,
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos' yacht compared to Titanic.
Uh-huh.
And how big is it compared to the Titanic?
I don't think it's as big as the Titanic,
Okay.
but it is about 413 feet long, which is pretty large considering a cruise ship is about 900 feet long.
Jeez.
Okay.
But please keep in mind that a cruise ship is for hundreds of people, if not thousands, and Jeff Bezos is
And
one
yeah.
man.
the yacht
Is one man.
well, to be fair,
What?
he wouldn't be the only person on it.
He might be. I don't know.
But we gotta move on.
His
so,
friends.
Yeah. Fuck Bozos. Let's continue.
Bezos, Jeffrey Bezos.
But Charles ends up living to the ripe old age of 78 and dying of pneumonia.
Okay, yeah,
After-
like what
Of
he should
course.
have done in the first place.
It finally caught up to him.
It's like him playing chess against God. He's like, I'm gonna give you pneumonia, and Charles is just like,
oh no, you're
but
not.
not today.
Not
Like, I'm gonna give
today.
you pneumonia, and Charles takes like 19 pills of vitamin C, giving himself reverse scurvy.
Reverse scurvy. The anti-scurvy.
Yeah, I got the anti-scurvy, and people are like, "What even is that?" And he's just like, "I'm just."
I don't know, but I got it. But yes, so he dies of pneumonia at the age of 78, surviving not only 2 wives, and not only the sinking of the Titanic, but also the sinking of the SS Oregon in Boston Harbor. He was also on that one.
Did he go down on that one as cool as he did on the Titanic?
No, but he did go down on that one and managed to live.
Oh my god,
dude.
this man's a monster. The sea can't.
Yes, he is, and I love it.
This guy's crazy.
The sea cannot hold
The
me.
sea literally can't hold him. If anything, it spits him back out. It's like, I don't want this.
Oh yeah, the sea's like, fuck, I don't want this. I can't handle this.
The sea
I can't
is
handle
literally
this
like
guy.
a picky
He's gotta
2-year-old
deal with God.
broccoli. And he's the
All right.
broccoli.
Is that the end of your story?
That is the end of my story. Yes, the man dies. Congratulations,
dies.
it's over.
I don't. Well, I'm not trying. Look, I'm
Just
not
kidding.
trying
There's
to
an
rush us
afterlife.
along,
Psych.
but you and I have been speaking for the better part of 30 minutes before
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
technical difficulties. So I feel like we've lived a whole life
we
already.
had technical difficulties.
fair enough. It
Look,
happens.
Megan, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, like, I'm tired of hearing my own voice.
That's not, but I'm not, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today I am continuing a little segment within a segment that I started last time called Wonderfully Weird Women of History.
I'm one of them.
And for the first time this year, I am putting my dad pants back on.
Okay.
Avid listeners of the podcast will know that this, of course, means that I am once again visiting my favorite topic, The war so nice they waged it twice. The sequel to World War I. That's right, kids. We're going back to World War II. And this time, we're talking about a woman.
Woo! Oh, wait, Matt, are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Why am I
Because I don't share my toys.
Wow.
I will say
Fuck you.
that if you like this story, you can thank Zachary for having put it in my scope. Ha 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 ha.
But
Why? Why are you making that noise?
Today,
Are you
I am
comfortable?
going to be talking about Lyudmila Pavlichenko.
Oh, holy shit, that's a word.
Who was
That's
born
a
in
name.
It's a name. Who was born in 1916 in Belaya Surkov, which is a town near Kyiv in Ukraine.
Soon to be Russia, I suppose.
Soon to be Russia, if Putin has his way, which he still isn't.
Same with Ukraine.
As a child, Pavlichenko enjoyed teaching boys that girls could be good at sports too by kicking their ass all the time,
All the time.
just for fun.
Fuck yeah.
Constant ass kicking.
It was day and night, sun up to sundown, ass kicking at sports.
Good job.
It's like Red Foreman, a beer in every hand,
Literally,
and a foot in
like-
every ass.
Yeah, literally, like her youth was just anything you can do, I can do better, but accurate.
But putting their money where their mouth was.
Yeah. But when she was 14 years old, she and her family moved to the nearby city of Kyiv. And just for shits and giggles, she decided to enroll in a sharpshooting class.
Good for her.
Good for her, indeed.
I wish they had those nowadays. I
Huh?
wish they had just sharpshooting classes now.
Megan, I'm sure if you tried hard enough, you could find
I
one.
don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, fair. She ended up winning a badge and a marksmanship certificate.
Okay.
Just like, for fun.
For fun.
That's also, something you could probably do, Megan, if you tried hard enough.
Okay, I'm just feeling very attacked.
We're not saying you're not trying. We're just saying you
What
have the
we're saying is
capabilities. We believe
you. I believe you could win a gym badge.
Here's the
at
thing, my local
marksmanship.
library doesn't offer sharpshooting classes, and I
This is America. Your local
the
library,
local library
should
where
offer
you-
sharpshooting
You know what?
classes.
I work at
Where
a
you
library.
work?
I'll run it past the director. How about that, guys? And I'll get back to you.
Yeah, no, please do.
Yeah, okay. I'll get right on that. I'm calling her right now.
At the I hope that for the remainder of my story, Megan's just in the background talking to the
Yeah.
director at her
Yep.
Yeah.
at
No,
her
no,
library,
it-
just like
it'll be
no
absolutely be safe."
marksman classes.
No. It'll be safe. Nope.
yeah.
No. It's 13 and older. See.
No,
I'm the
right,
teen
for
librarian,
sure.
and I can tell you what teens are capable of. And I
I
say,
know what
Yeah.
teens are into, and this is America,
No,
and it's good.
you don't understand, Deborah. Okay, 12 does not have the word teen in it, so it would be 13.
and up,
Alright,
unless we make it into a tween category event.
Yeah. At the age of 21, she
Not a
enrolls in... Not a teenager, correct. She enrolls in Kyiv University with a focus near and dear to our hearts, which is history.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was studying to become a teacher, but don't you worry, she was maintaining her sniper training.
Thank God. I
Nice.
was really worried she was letting herself go.
She was doing it just for fun until Hitler, the antagonist of World War II, launched Operation Barbarossa in 1941, which started his war with the Soviet Union.
Hitler's always
Pavlichenko
ruining
was
stuff.
24. What's up?
He's just always ruining stuff.
No, Hitler really is just such a scam.
I know, dude.
Pavlichenko was 24 and went immediately to enlist and they said, hello, yes, we'd like you to be a nurse. And she said, fuck that noise, give me a rifle.
I went to my local library and I learned
how to shoot.
I learned how to shoot.
Rootin' tootin'. Rifle shooting. She ends up becoming the most prolific Soviet female sniper. So she started her military career fighting in the front lines in Odessa for 2.5 months, where she racked up 187 kills, which earned her a promotion to senior sergeant.
Good for her.
Atta girl.
Her unit, the Red Army's 25th Rifle Division, then moved from Odessa after they had captured it to Sevastopol after the capturing of Odessa, which I just mentioned. If I had read my notes, I wouldn't have done that, but I didn't read my notes because I'm the big dumb. So she stays in Sevastopol for 8 months, bringing her kill count to 257.
Excellent.
And earning her a promotion to lieutenant.
Good.
Okay.
Get it, girl.
Pavlichenko was also sent on many missions where she was asked to counter-snipe. And if you don't know what that is, I have bad news. I don't have the time or the crayons to explain it to you, but you might figure it out if you listen closely. She once had a duel with another sniper that lasted 3 days, which she, of course, won.
Obviously.
And when she was asked about it later, she said, my enemy made one move too many.
Yeah.
So
He didn't go into hibernation like a fucking alligator.
I guess that means something to her and other snipers, probably.
Yeah. They're just a
she
mysterious
reportedly... They are a very serious breed. She was also, Ukrainian, so pretty serious to begin with. And fighting a war, so that's also kind of... Anyways, so she reportedly won 36 duels against other snipers.
That's cool.
The Germans used to try and lure her to their side. And at the beginning, they used to say things like, we'll give you chocolate and make you a German officer. But by the time that she was done with them, they had given up on trying to lure her over with sweets and promises of being an officer, and they switched to threats entirely.
Come over or we'll kill you. You haven't killed me yet.
Yeah, one such threat that she remembered was, if we catch you, we will cut you into 309 pieces and scatter them to the winds.
Do it, I dare you.
And when she was asked about it, Pavlichenko said that she was happy they had gotten her kill count right.
Wow.
Her effectiveness in the field earned her the nickname Lady Death among the Germans and her fellow Russian or Ukrainian soldiers.
What a fox.
Unfortunately, during her time in Sevastopol, she was injured. And after healing from her injuries, she was told that she would never fight again. Mm-hmm. So she had really wanted to get back out there and keep fighting the good fight, but they told her that she could not. And instead, what she was going to get to do was go to the States and spread propaganda.
Wow.
Nice!
So, she gets to the States, gets to the, Western world, and of course the American reporters are asking her questions about, like, what type of makeup she's wearing and all these types of things, and she's like dodging those questions left and right, but on one such occasion she gets fed up and says to the people who are reporting, gentlemen, I am 25 years old and I have killed 309 fascist occupants by now. Don't you think, gentlemen, that you have been hiding behind my back for too long?
Wow.
Which earned her applause.
Fuck yeah.
I know, dude.
Go her.
Yeah. While on her propaganda tour, she mentioned things like a lack of segregation, in the Red Army, as well as gender equality, obviously, because she was allowed to fight in the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And during her time in the United States, she even made friends with Eleanor Roosevelt.
Oh, wow.
She goes on to live her life with, as much pomp and circumstance as a returning war veteran gets. When Eleanor Roosevelt eventually visits her neck of the woods, she says that she won't go back to the States without checking in on her old friend Lyudmila Pavlichenko, which of course she does. Unfortunately, Pavlichenko lived with PTSD for a majority of her life after the ripe old age of 25.
Yeah.
She ends up dying.
Put the 25-year-olds in the meat grinder.
Yeah, she ends up dying at the age of 19, she ends up dying in the year 1973 at the age of 57 from a stroke.
Oh, man. That's so young.
To this day, she is still the deadliest female sniper in Russian history.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So that is, Zach literally sent me this in a message one day and was just like, look her up. You will not be sorry. And I was like, as soon as I started reading about this woman, I was like, yeah, I'm not sorry at all.
She's really fucking impressive.
I know.
And I think, because we've covered, what was his name? Simo Haya?
Yep.
Yeah, the White
Who
Death.
was essentially, the White Death. And I'm just impressed by people who
Fight Nazis.
can just shoot people from far away.
I'm just
Yes.
really impressed.
I'm always
just
impressed.
I love the people that can chuck it down
Would you
range.
say that that's an interesting library program that you'd be interested in?
I would be interested in joining a library program.
Okay, good. I'll get on the horn.
Yeah, thanks.
I think that it is really impressive. Marksmanship is an extremely impressive skill. And killing Nazis is always an impressive skill. And one that, should be done.
Should be
gusto.
done often. Yeah, with gusto.
But I think that the other thing I would like to mention is you did say that she lived with PTSD for a really long time. We didn't really know a whole lot about PTSD after World War II. You were shell-shocked. Wow, that was that was a thing. But it is impressive that she held it together as long as she did when it came to the actual war itself, because a 300 plus kill count is not... It is impressive for the fact that she killed 300 Nazis. I love that. It is also a lot to take 300 lives, whether they are an enemy or not. So...
And I mean, and it's sort of... I can only imagine that it's a little bit difficult to then be, like... You probably get the people who don't know any better who come up to you and it's like, what did it feel like to kill a person?
Yeah.
And you just have to relive that memory. Like, being a war hero in general must kind of get exhausting after a while because you're just like...
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you're by the nature of your own success in that way, you're forced to relive what is
the hardest part,
probably the most difficult thing that you've ever gone through.
Yeah, I did not mean to or want to bring down this story because it's crazy. It's a woman saying, fuck these men, I can do it better, and that's really impressive.
She's definitely a wonderfully weird woman of history.
And I love it. I think the point I'm trying to make real quick before you finish is this country needs to take better care of its veterans with PTSD. That's what I'm trying to get the point.
I think every country could probably be doing better.
We have a mental health crisis in this country, and veterans and PTSD are not a small part of it.
What if we just no war? How about
what
if just no war?
What if just got our shit together?
No, yeah.
It would be nice. It would be nice.
That would be nice.
In the in the meantime, we get to tell stories about crazy sniper women.
I was just say, hyping it back up. Hell yeah. Kick those men's asses
Hell yeah.
day in, day out.
Hype this back up.
I will never not salute a person who killed Nazis.
That's true.
So
Exactly.
If you had to fight in a war, that one was probably a good one to be on the winning side.
Yeah. It's a good one to be on the winning side of, yeah, for sure. My story is now over, though, and Megan, you can begin yours whenever you feel good and ready.
Let me,
I know that you were finishing up your phone call with your director to talk about the...
I was on the phone. I was on the horn, if you will.
On the horn.
On the horn.
Talking about the marksmanship program at your local library.
yeah, that's... I'm really excited to get this off the ground for the teens in the area. So my story, we're really all over the place tonight.
We are for sure.
We are for sure. My story is called The Best Show in Town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little sexy.
Love that journey for us.
Yeah. So as me, I'm talking about me. As someone who will fly to places to be entertained, I think I like understand the allure of like a show advertisement. Like, I'm actively dying, and while I'm hot and on this rock, I want to see some cool shit, you know? Some people don't want to leave their town, especially Parisians who believe that the Big Bang began in Paris, and that is where all life and culture and the smell of piss stem from. But that being said, in the great year of 1864, wow, wait, hold on. What is happening? Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So, sorry, no. I just got a little lost. You can cut this out, Zach.
Okay.
I got a little bit lost. Yeah, so that being said, Parisians don't want to leave their town. In the year of 1864, while America was wondering if slavery was still a great good thing, Paris was opening up a hot new theater. And it was free and open 7 days a week.
Oh.
Yeah. Street vendors sold fruits and nuts, and tourists would come and line up outside. And then, once inside, they finally got to see what they've been waiting for. Do you want to take a guess?
Was it a donkey show?
No, it wasn't.
No, Matt, no.
It wasn't.
I love any time that I can get my two coworkers here to just be in pained silence.
Just pain silence. It was corpses. Yay.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
It was corpses, and this was just another day at the Paris morgue. So the morgue was one of the most popular sites in fabulous Paris. It wasn't the churches or the wonderful architecture or the many pickpockets. It was the dead. And as many as 40,000 people a day would file through the morgue's exhibition hall, which makes me wonder how many autopsies were done and how most of those people weren't haunted after they emerged into the light of day. So many of the dead were also fished from the sign, so like they were pretty waterlogged.
Ooh, nothing like good bloated corpses mixed with the piss smell of Paris.
Yeah, dude, love the piss smell of Paris. What a beautiful perfume mixed with some waterlogged bodies. And I don't know if any of our listeners have ever like Googled a drowned body. But like,
Why would it, hang on.
What?
I'm gonna do something that I haven't done in a bit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk directly to the listeners.
I would love it if you did it.
Listeners, please tell me that none of you have ever done this thing that Megan has just said that you might have
I
done.
don't know what they've done.
I would think less of you if you had looked up waterlogged bodies on the Googles. I get I get it if like you were doing research onto like if you're like a writer and you had to describe one and you're like, let me look at it, if you're a visual learner and you need it, like, if you're maybe in the field, like you're studying to be a mortuary, whatever, but please please tell me that none of you have done this just for funsies. Okay, I'm going to return it to Meghan, but like, think about what we talked about here.
Yeah. So don't Google it. It's gross. But anyway, the morgue was so popular that...
Meghan, I have to ask, did you Google it?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'm surprised we're not Googling it right now.
I'm not Googling it.
You could get on a list.
I'm not gonna.
I'm already on too many lists, Meghan.
Get on the list.
I don't even know how to spell list.
Get on a list.
No, move on.
Yeah,
moving
on. The morgue, so popular. It was a popular destination, and it was even listed in the British tour books as Le Musée de la Mort. I know that I fucked that up, but I'm not French, and I don't want to be.
It's also not our job to speak French on this podcast.
It is not our job.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, it was listed as the Museum of Death.
Okay.
There wasn't a... You might be surprised, but there was an official purpose to the morgue being an exhibition hall. Like,
okay.
I was very surprised about this as well, because usually people in the past, and today, just do fucked up things. They didn't just do it because, like, the public morgue's office had some extra cash in the budget, but the official purpose was to recruit the public to identify the city's unclaimed dead, because there was a lot of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there were so many that, like, the morgue did not have time to consistently, like, find people and call them in and be like, do you know who this person is? And so they just opened up the gates. So
that's fucking wild.
Yeah, so it began this era of, like, a Gilded Age reality TV or true crime show that you actually had to leave your house to see. And the public fucking loved it.
Okay, but like, hear me out. I kind of get why now.
What,
like,
that they did it?
Well, no, like, you described it as, like, a true crime show, but you have to leave your house to go see it. Like, people fucking do escape rooms now. I
know.
get why someone would go to this. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying you should, but I understand why, like, some people would.
And it was free. Like, that's the, like, I think that's, like, the best part, especially if, like, you're, you know, of a lower class, right? Like, of a lower social, like, socioeconomic standing. Like,
yeah.
If I get to, like, just pay whatever the equivalent is of a quarter and have some nuts and then go look at some dead people with my family for the day, I don't know, that sounds great.
It's something to do in the city of piss.
Different definitions of great.
Listen,
I think.
I don't know what to...
But also, I get that it's something to do in the city of piss.
It's something to do in the city of piss. Yeah.
It's certainly better to smell decay than it is to smell piss, I think.
I mean, they were in kind of refrigeration.
Okay.
Well, then in that case, it's better to smell refrigeration than it is to smell piss.
Yeah. So this also, like, applied to this culture that Paris was cultivating. So by the end of the 1850s, Paris was, like, turning into a breathable city, and that they were sort of, like, knocking down old buildings and... What?
I'm sorry, I just have to say it's ironic that you're saying it's a breathable city when the entire time we've been talking about how it smells like piss.
Well, you get to breathe in the smell of piss more freely.
You get to breathe in the piss smell.
Yeah,
oh,
so,
man.
You know, the Parisian government got together, and they're like, oh, people can't breathe in the piss freely. Like, how do we do it? And they're like, oh, make wider streets, and so the piss smell can travel better.
Oh, God, sorry, that was just so funny.
So they did knock down a lot of old buildings, and they made a lot of large boulevards and spacious parks. that people were really fond of aimlessly strolling around and seeing what was on offer. And the open morgue was like part of this city redesign, and it was constructed right behind Notre Dame. It's also easier to fish bodies out of the river if you're doing it on an island. It's like you get a net in there or something. And
just have a net there the whole time, like a fucking lobster cage.
Yeah, it's like a lobster cage, but for bodies. It's a body cage. So at the bigger and better and more open morgue, the bodies could be carefully processed, cleaned, inspected, and then submitted to the public for identification, and also just, a little look-see, a little peekaboo. It just so happened that it didn't take long for what was meant to help the public, like, as a public good, and it turned into a spectacle and something that could be, like, actively consumed. Like, unlike wax museums at the time, this was real. And who wants to see something fake when you can experience the real thing for zero the cost? And the corpses that drew the biggest crowds were women and children that had met ultimately gruesome ends.
Oh, fuck. I hate people again.
Yeah, I know. It was okay.
They had to ruin the bodies.
They loved the gross bodies.
Ugh.
So when these bodies arrived, it gets worse, Zach.
No, don't say that.
No, it does get worse, because when these bodies rise, when, the dead women and children came in, the newspapers would run a headline about them.
Oh, fuck.
Speculating about the causes of their deaths, and the public was ready to be brought along for the ride. They were like, what could possibly be happening? Who could have killed these people? How did they die? And even the city officials got involved, dressing so, like, they would take the children's corpses and they would dress them up in nice clothes, and then they would prop them up in a chair close to the glass where the people could look at them. Like, that meme where it's the guy leaning on the glass, and he's like, "Hey, baby." Mm-hmm. That's what I imagine they did with the kids.
I fucking hate people.
Gross.
Yeah, gross. Anyway, and then the police would apprehend suspects and bring them down to the morgue to confront them with the dead bodies in hopes of gaining, like, a public confession.
Holy fuck, that is so unethical.
I know.
Did that work ever?
It was kind of unclear whether it worked. I'm sure, like, afterwards they would probably beat the people and be like, "Did you kill this person?" And that person would be like, "Please stop beating me, Parisian cops."
I was going to say, oh my god, a cop uses an unethical method to get a forced confession, unlike the beating, which is an unethical way to get a forced confession.
Yeah, dude,
force you to smell the piss of the city.
Yeah, and then they said, "Well, come out here into the piss air and let's have a conversation."
We are really shitting on the French this episode.
Specifically Paris.
Oh my god, I didn't mean to do this story tonight.
But you did, so here we are.
I did. They're like, "Come out here into the piss air," and then they slap them with, like, I don't know, something soaked in piss, I assume. Dude, if someone slapped me.
We've gone so far off the rails.
Woo!
All we're talking about is the piss in the air.
Dude, if
my
a
God.
French police officer slapped me with a piss-soaked sock, I would confess to anything.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so... So yeah, they hope to gain a confession by confronting them with these bodies, and also before refrigeration, popular corpses, because there were popular corpses, they're like, Korean girl bands, they would decay too quickly, and they would create like a wax replica of it to satisfy tourists.
Yeah,
I thought that
makes sense.
Entrepreneurial.
Yeah, for sure. It's like Madame Tussauds first.
Yeah.
Wax
But
museum.
it's like a morgue first, and then it turns into the wax museum. So this whole thing lasted until 1907 when the exhibition hall was shut down due to moral concerns, I guess.
Oh, finally.
Yeah. Oh, finally.
Not soon enough.
Yeah, someone was like, do you think this is right? And someone was like, yeah, I guess not. So the journalists, because we have to think about the journalists, they were really sad.
Think about the journalists.
Think about the journalists. They were really sad. A lot of them had been working what was called the corpse beat. And now they had to find, like, something new to, like, bleed and lead. Meanwhile, the street vendors and markets that had cropped up around the morgue were also dismantled. And people were upset also, but they really couldn't do anything about it because it was free. It was like free entertainment. So they couldn't go to city officials and be like, hey, we pay good money to have this going.
See dead kids.
We pay good money. And, like, arguably, I guess what they could have done is been like, hey, we pay taxes and we want to see corpses.
We want to see the dead kids.
We want to see the dead kids. Bring these dead kids out here. But yeah, they couldn't do that. I think that the morgue was interesting, though, because, like I said earlier, it provided, like, this free entertainment that was a place where both, like, the poor and the rich could, like, intermingle, and then ultimately, like, they were looking at where they were all going to ultimately end. And I think there is, like, a strange, dark poetry to all of that.
Okay, but, like, the French are obsessed with death.
Oh, they fucking love it, dude. That's why the public morgue.
I was gonna say, like, but like, I'll give you other examples. Like, they call coming le petit mort, like, the little death. Le petit mort, like, there's the obsession with the fucking morgues. Like, the idea of, and let's not even get talking about French absurdism, which is, I can't believe I'm saying it, my favorite kind of philosophy.
Stop it, Zach.
Oh my god.
Don't let them
Get
know.
out.
I can't, I know, that's why I'm saying I can't believe I'm saying it. Albert
back to
Camus
the
is
piss.
fucking, ugh. Back to the piss.
Back to the piss.
But, like, obsessed with death. Like, so I can see how they did this. I don't put it past them. I don't like it, but I don't put it past them.
The thing is, though, like, I understand why they did it. Like, there was too many unidentified bodies for them to call everyone
but,
down
like,
individually. Like, I understand why they opened up the pit, and I also understand how it became, like, a spectacle. Because, you know, if there was an open morgue here, or, like, in New York City, that would be the biggest tourist attraction in that city.
Yeah, absolutely. But, like, I maybe it's not just the French people are morbidly curious. Fuck.
I think it's everyone, because, like, there is just something inherently interesting about something that is going to happen to us all, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know that anytime that one of the first times I went to a funeral, I remember asking my mom, like, are we going to be able to see the body?
Yeah.
Because I had never seen, like, a dead body before. There's just, like, even when I was little, I was like, oh, that's wild. Like, they're just not there anymore. And I think it's, like, the human brain trying to figure that out, right? Like, it's kind of incomprehensible to stop. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's sort of what I was thinking. I was like, while I was reading this story, I was like, well, why would this be interesting? And then I was like, I would go.
Yeah. Fuck, I hate that you're right, Megan.
Yeah, I would go. I mean, it would probably be, like, not great, but, like...
I would feel nasty about doing it, but
yeah.
I'd go.
I would definitely...
I would have...
I
think this is going to sound really shitty.
Yeah, go for it. I want to hear it.
I would go.
Yes.
And I'd feel a little bit bad about it.
Yeah.
But I'd also be snobbish about it and be like, well, at least I'm not the people who are obsessed with the women and children. Like, I'm here for everything. Like,
I'm here for everybody. I'm an equal opportunist voyeur.
Like,
I'm just here to look at.
here to look at the dead bodies. I'm not gonna make a thing of it. Like,
Zach,
I think I would look down on the people that were there, being like, "Ooh, the dead kids."
Ooh, the
I
dead
would
kids.
I'd be like, "That's fucking creepy." It's not creepy to go look at dead bodies. It's creepy to go for the children's dead bodies.
That's so true. Now, I do have a question for you, Zach. You say that you would be there for everybody, but would you be one of the people who would be munching on nuts as they make their walk through?
I don't think I'd be able to stomach munching.
I'd be munching on nuts.
You'd be munching on nuts.
What? Let me rephrase that. Are they candied nuts? Like,
Yeah,
is it some like
they're candy nuts.
bourbon maple pecans?
Yeah. They're that good shit
Oh,
that
yeah.
you smell from like a mile away when you're at the state fair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'd be fucking munching on some nuts.
Yeah, dude, I'd be munching on nuts too.
For two reasons. I'll back this up with two things.
You don't have to give me a reason to be munching
Oh, no,
on nuts.
I want to.
Okay.
3 reasons.
3 reasons for munching on nuts. Number one.
Number one is, I think, first off, I have a weird relationship with the idea of death, and it does not bother me. So I feel like, again, I'd be going in and being like, oh, curious, I'm gonna go look at this thing. So I feel like I'd just be like, nuts? Sure, why not? You know?
Yeah.
2,
2.
I think even if there wasn't my personal feelings along with death, where it's kind of like, all right, yeah, it's a thing, whatever, I guess the idea of eating kind of introduces some sort of normalcy to an otherwise abnormal situation. So I can see why it's like, well, at least I'm doing something that isn't weird.
Yeah, you're just munching on nuts.
And 3, fuck, those nuts are delicious.
Fuck those nuts.
Let's not forget that really important part, that, good
Boys,
nuts.
those nuts are delicious.
Boys, those nuts. Can we name the episode Munching on Nuts?
I think we need to name the episode "Those Nuts Are Delicious."
Those nuts are delicious.
Oh,
D's
God.
nuts. We have a lot of options, but they're all nut related.
yeah.
I don't think we can say D's nuts,
No.
but we can definitely say "Those nuts are delicious."
Those nuts are delicious. Fine. Ugh.
We
I'll
don't.
allow
Well,
We don't have to, considering it had nothing to do with the rest of the episode.
That's fine.
But
The last episode we
because
released from this date was called Meats and Sweets, which was a throwaway line that was too fucking good.
we could call this episode "The Pisses in the Air."
The piss is in the air, boys.
God.
All right.
What the piss sock had me.
The piss. I gotta be honest with you, dude. Everything. The part that broke me was just all of the piss talk.
All the piss talk broke me.
I can't. You know what's really funny? The beginning, I talked about the water sports, and I didn't know I was going to be doing this story, and it really.
Megan, you looped back around.
I can't believe how much I looped back around. What a champion of storytelling.
Oh my god, I genuinely love every moment where we break as people talking about each other's stories.
Oh, it's so good.
This has already been such a wild fucking episode, and then to make me break because you're talking about piss is just, I don't know. It'll stay with me for the rest of the night.
I love you both. We need to be done.
We do need to be done.
We need to be.
Wait, no, you can't count us out.
Sorry.
I haven't asked the most important question of the night, which is the one to our dear listeners who are listening to us in their car or tucked into their little bed.
Are you waiting for me to cut you off?
No, God no.
Oh.
I know where to cut myself off, bro. I'm not your intros.
I know what the question
Fuck you. I meant for
Dear
the fucking
listeners.
Socials, you jackass.
I know. Dear listeners, I end this episode as we end every episode with the question, what the fuck history?
That's not the real question. It is, where is the piss history?